India is on a mission, a huge countrywide push for a greener, more sustainable future. And it's all driven by some of the most ambitious clean energy goals you'll find anywhere on the planet. But this green revolution, it isn't just powered by new policies or big ambitions. No, it's powered by something much more fundamental, something literally dug right out of the earth. So let's just stop and think about that for a second. When you picture clean energy, what comes to mind? Probably solar panels, right? Soaking up the sun. Or those giant, majestic wind turbines spinning in the breeze. But what is those things actually made of? What is the real, physical stuff that makes this entire green revolution even possible? Well, it's this specific set of elements and compounds that we call critical minerals. They are the essential and, honestly, often overlooked building blocks for nearly every single piece of green technology we have. And believe me, securing them has become one of the biggest economic and geopolitical challenges of our time. So, to really get why these particular minerals are suddenly a top national priority, you have to understand the sheer scale of India's green dream. And we're not talking about a small step here. We are talking about a planned giant leap into the future. The headline goal, the big one, is to achieve net zero emissions by the year 2070. That means completely transforming how the world's third largest energy consumer generates and uses power. It is an absolutely monumental undertaking. And this huge vision, it breaks down into some very specific targets. Take electric vehicles, for instance. The National Electric Mobility Mission Plan is aiming to get 6 to 7 million EVs on the road. Now, every single one of those cars needs a powerful battery, which, you guessed it, brings us right back to our critical minerals. And it's the exact same story with wind power. India's goal is to more than triple its current wind capacity to a staggering 140 gigawatts by 2030. Every single one of those high-tech turbines relies on incredibly powerful magnets made from rare earth elements. You can start to see how the demand just stacks up and up, right? Okay, so we keep using this term critical minerals, but what does that really mean? What actually makes a mineral critical? Let's break down exactly why these specific elements are so incredibly important for all this future tech. All right, so a mineral gets the critical label for two main reasons. First, it's absolutely vital for modern technology, and there's really no easy substitute for it. And second, its supply chain is vulnerable. That could be because it's only found in a couple of places on Earth, or maybe there are production bottlenecks, or it's all tangled up in geopolitics. And this is where it all gets very real. Remember those technologies we just talked about? Well, they are built from these exact minerals. Solar panels need silicon and indium. Those giant wind turbines, they depend on neodymium for their magnets. And the absolute heart of the EV revolution, the battery, is completely reliant on lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Let me put it plainly, there is simply no green transition without them. And this, right here, is where the central challenge for India really comes into focus. You see, having ambitious green goals is one thing, but securing the raw materials to actually achieve them, that's a whole other ballgame. And right now, that supply chain is looking pretty darn risky. So what is the actual risk here? It's not just about the price of these things going up. No, it's about availability, it's about reliability, and it's about strategic vulnerability. And it really boils down to one major issue. The problem is geographic concentration. You see, unlike something common like iron or aluminum, the world's supply of many of these critical minerals is controlled by a very, very small number of countries. Just take a look at this map. A massive portion of cobalt mining happens in the Democratic Republic of Congo. A lot of the world's lithium comes from Latin America, but the real dominance, that's in processing. China produces about 60% of the world's rare earth elements, and, this is the crucial part, it processes nearly 85% of the entire global supply. This creates a massive choke point for every other nation that's trying to build a green economy. Now, this global dynamic has a direct and pretty startling impact on India. Just look at the data. Between 2021 and 2024, India's imports of these key minerals more than doubled, jumping from about $3 billion to over $8 billion. And at the exact same time, its own mineral exports actually fell. This trend shows a rapidly growing dependency on foreign supplies, right when the domestic need for these minerals is absolutely exploding. So, faced with this growing challenge, India isn't just sitting back and hoping for the best. It has launched a comprehensive, long-term strategy to tackle this problem head-on. It's called the National Critical Mineral Mission.
And look, this isn't just some vague policy idea floating around. It was announced officially, right in the Union budget speech, which signals a really high-level national commitment. The mission is crystal clear. Boost domestic production, get really good at recycling, and strategically go out and acquire mineral assets abroad. And they are putting some serious money where their mouth is. The mission has a total budget of 16,300 crore rupees, running all the way through 2031. That level of funding really shows you just how seriously the government is taking this strategic challenge.
Okay, so how is all that money going to be spent? Well, the strategy isn't just one single plan. It's more like a multi-pronged attack, designed to build a resilient mineral supply chain from the ground up. Let's take a look at the playbook. The whole mission is built on these 7 key pillars. Let's just focus on 3 of the biggest ones. First, massively increasing domestic production by exploring for India's own reserves. Second, going abroad to acquire stakes in foreign mines. It's a strategy they're calling friendshoring. And third, building a circular economy by mastering the art of recycling minerals from old batteries and electronics. Altogether, these pillars are designed to create a much more self-reliant supply chain. So here's what it all comes down to. India has laid out this incredibly ambitious roadmap for a green future. And now it's launched an equally ambitious strategy to get the raw materials needed to build it. The question is no longer about the vision, it's really all about the execution. Ultimately, the race for a clean energy future isn't just going to be one with wind turbines and solar panels. It's going to be one with the control and supply of these fundamental elements, the true raw materials of the 21st century. The hunt is on. Thanks for watching.